Hey guys, this is Ashley White, the owner of the Polka Dot Alley, and I'm so excited to introduce you to the Alley podcast. Okay, so we went really back and forth on what we wanted to focus on for the podcasts in general, but especially for the first few. As we get into this, the plan is to launch one new podcast each week. But in the beginning, history has proven that you want to have a little batch to post at first just to kind of get everything going and get it moving and grooving. So we plan to do a couple right here at the beginning. Don't worry though, it will lessen and turn into a weekly thing as time goes on. Something that a few people asked us to talk about, and I don't know that this will be interesting to everybody, but it might be interesting to some, is the process of deciding what brands and what vendors we buy from, and maybe why we at some point stop buying from those vendors. I can tell you one thing for me when I started doing all of this, especially when we got that first storefront in 2014, was just the ability to buy brands that I had always wanted to buy from. Maybe I bought from them retail from other companies, be it a candle brand or hobo bags. I loved doing the home decor and pillows and decorative things, even some furniture in the beginning and lighting. I really struggled in the beginning days of having the storefront with, how do I narrow it? How do I know? We were buying for kids' clothing. We were buying for women's clothing. I was buying from the gift market and the home market. It was overwhelming. And when you have the ability to go in and sell, honestly, thousands upon thousands of brands, you want to sell them all. It's fun. I enjoy home decor and design. So those things interest me. I love candles. So those interest me. Then you also have the things that are trending. So whether that's for a while there, it was drinkware. Graphic tees went through a big boom. Whatever those things are, you feel the need that you have to bring those in. And then in the end, it kind of can detract you a little bit from what your main product focus is, which for us is definitely apparel. So over the years, there has been a lot of learning and growing and kind of fine tuning that for PDA because I still want the fun stuff. I get bored with the clothing. We've done it for so long that it doesn't interest me all the time in the way that it used to interest me. So it's fun for me to go to Gift Market and spend a whole day looking at jewelry or looking at poopery and Cali Mango and the things that smell good. And I can't help but buy some of those things. But one thing we've learned over the years is number one, profit margin. Number two, how much space does it take up in this warehouse? And number three, how much does it cost to ship? Us being a fully online business now, those are things that we have to consider and we have to think about. For example, if I buy this shirt, isn't it cute, by the way, Vicky Viscose on the Shop PDA app, just a little plug there. This top is going to be one that takes up hardly any space. It's hanging, so it's not going to take up a bunch of space. It's honestly not that heavy, so it's not going to cost a lot to ship. And our warehouse is set up now for clothing. So we have all the spaces for that. Whereas if I go and get a candle, and also let's say, without getting into full pricing and taking off every boutique owner in the entire industry, a lot of the gift items, so you're thinking drinkware, you're thinking candles, those brands that you know and love, Gooder sunglasses, Capri Blue, all of those do keystone pricing, which means double. So if the candle costs $28, we probably paid $14 to get it. Here's what you don't realize in that though. Let's say there's a candle that costs $28. I paid $14 to get it. So you would just assume, oh, okay, so they're going to make $14 selling that candle. Absolutely not. Number one, you have your fees that come right off the top. So I list that item on my website, fees that go to credit card processors, fees that go to comments sold, and if they sizzle, I have even more fees that go to that. So we're losing anywhere from 6 to 10% right off the top of that item. On top of that, we pay for that item to get shipped here from the supplier, and it's expensive. So say I order a bunch of those candles, I'm most likely going to pay maybe $2 per candle, sometimes one, sometimes three. So you go, okay, that $14, first of all, we lost, let's say 10%. Let's say they sizzled and all the fees. It was a $28 candle. Of my 14 I should have made, I just lost $2.80 in the fees. And then on top of that, you think, okay, let's say hypothetically it was $2 to get that candle shipped. That's another $2 that we lost right off the top there. So We lost $2.80 in fees. Then we lost $2 in shipping. So we're already at almost $5 gone out of that $14. So we're like, okay, now we're looking at a $7 profit on this one candle. How much space is it taking on the shelf in my warehouse? If I sit here and I go, okay, this is what my rent is per month. How many square footage do we have? Divide that out. You have to actually think of those things and go, okay, if I have 1,000 square feet of shelving that's just for the gift and the candles and things like that, how much am I paying a month to store those items in the meantime when they haven't sold? And then lastly, the cost to ship to the customer. We do charge shipping, but we charge no shipping if you spend a certain amount. And then on top of that, once you have paid shipping, it's free for the next 24 hours. Sometimes we're moving pretty quick at shipping, and you may order something on a Tuesday and we ship it same day. You go in on Wednesday and order a candle. You don't pay shipping. We're going to have to eat that, and it's probably going to cost us $6 or $7. We now lost money on that candle, if that makes sense. So there are a lot of items like that people like them. I like them. They're fun. But logistically, financially, they just don't make sense to offer. So we tend to pull those things in more around the holidays when that's something that people are looking more for. And they're also more likely to batch buy that. So they are more likely to go in and try to clear their Christmas list all in one fell swoop. And they are going to be grabbing multiple items, which then will lower the cost of our shipping for them. And it also makes more sense for me to order those things kind of in that fourth quarter and know that that space doesn't have to hold it all year long. So just a little bit of history kind of on why over the years, yes, I have brought in pillows and blankets and just brands that we loved. But then when it comes down to the weight of the package, the ability for it to break, the food over the years, we've done different things that are perishable items. I don't like doing those anymore because if they don't sell, then we end up having to trash them. So I think I've just learned lessons of what makes sense to sell, what doesn't make sense to sell. As much as I would love to sell some kitschy little cute $12 item, knowing that I'm maybe going to make $3 on that item. And if I want to keep kind of a limited product listing, I would rather have it be a shirt that we can sell, make more money on, and continue to reorder, honestly, too. So we have found that we are doing a lot less of those fun little sussies and more of the clothing. Same goes for shoes. Shoes are astronomical to ship, as you could imagine. Shipping has gotten so expensive these days. And that's not a situation where people are making money on it or charging. It's just the shipping carrier price has gone up so much. So not only these cute shoe shops, for example, not only did we pay to get these shipped to us, but then we have to pay to ship them to you. They take up a lot of space. They're heavy. So we just don't do as many shoes as what we used to. We've really kind of just narrowed the brands that we offer for shoes because we love them. We know that they are consistent in their sizing and their quality. We know that they will continue to sell and not hold space on the shelving for too long. And there's just a lot more that goes into it. So I know periodically we get questions, why don't you have this brand anymore? Or are you going to order more of this? Why don't you order this? And there really usually is a reason. Sometimes I honestly just forget because we have so many brands, but usually there's going to be a reason. That said, I also have some vendors that I just adore. And even though maybe it doesn't make the most sense, the profit margin's not going to be near as good, whatever the reasons may be, I want to support that vendor. And so I will bring some of those things in because I have a relationship with them. I appreciate them. I respect them. And I want to continue to give them business, even though maybe we're breaking even probably on that brand. But that's something that we'll continue to do too. So I would love to hear from you guys on what brands have we had before that maybe you're missing? What brands would you like to see that we haven't brought in? And is there anything that you feel like in our product selection is either missing or maybe doesn't fit? That said, too, the actual brands in and of themselves, I'm excited in this podcast to highlight some of those brands and get some of our favorite vendors in here to kind of fill you guys in on the trends. I know so many people were asking what trends I go off of to know what to order for these brands. I don't always know. I trust that these vendors do. I trust that they are designing those items that you guys are going to know and love. And so I'm excited to have them come be a part of this too, so that they can kind of tell you from A to Z, how do they get to that point and how do they go through those processes to bring us the products that we know and love.
Hi, everybody. Happy birthday to us.